All right, in this video, we're going to look at problems 8 through 11, which is dealing with um, finding parts of a triangle given other information. So problem number 8 says, find the height of a triangle with base 7 inches and base angle of 45 inches. So on this one, what you're going to do is first I'll draw it. And here is my 45-degree base angle. And remember, the base is the bottom, because like the basement of a house is at the bottom of a house. So the base is the bottom. And so this is 7 inches. And then the base angle, now over here is the right angle, so we know we're not talking about that one. So the base angle is the one that touches the base. That is not the right angle. And so that's 45 degrees. And then this is the height that we're looking for. So on this one, if you have, we know that we're looking at the opposite and the adjacent, because the one opposite the 45 is the height and the one that's adjacent is the one that we know. So looking at what we know and what we're looking for, we're going to use the tangent, because remember, so, ka, TOA. And so which one deals with the opposite and the adjacent? It's the TOA, so I'm going to use the tangent. So the tangent of 45 degrees is equal to h over 7. And then multiply both sides by 7 to get the h by itself. And then the tangent of 45 degrees, looking at our little reference triangle here, it's 1 square root of 2 for the 45-degree angle. And so the tangent is opposite over adjacent, which is 1 over 1. So that is 1. Or you can just use your calculator, because the tangent, and type in 7 times tangent 45, make sure you're in degrees, and it'll give you 1. And so my height here will also be 7 inches. All right, so that's problem number 7. All right, question number 9 says that you have a triangle ABC, and they tell you that, here's ABC, and they tell you that A is 5 and B is 7. So I'm just going to redraw the triangle. So when you're doing this on your paper, don't draw the ABC, just write the 5, the 7, and then we have to figure out what this is. So using the Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. That would be 5 squared plus 7 squared equals c squared. That's 25 plus 49 equals c squared, which gives you, let's see, that would be 74 equals c squared. So taking the square root of both sides and knowing that it's going to be positive, c is equal to the square root of 74. Now we do need to look and see if we can simplify this radical, but 4 will not go into 74, so I would just go on my calculator and say 74 divided by 4, and that gives you a decimal. And if I do divide it by 9, that gives you a decimal. And if I divide it by 25, that gives me a decimal. So these are the 3 numbers that you're looking for. So I can't simplify the square root of 74, so I'm just going to look at, leave it as the square root of 74. All right? So it says, find all of the other information about, it just says find the hypotenuse. And so we've done that. And so, and I'm sorry, it's not 74, it's 71 if you add it. I just added wrong in my head. That's why it's always a good idea to use a calculator. But still, none of these numbers will go into 71 either. So the answer is still 71. Square root of 71. All right. Question number 10 says you have a 29-foot ladder leaning up against the house, and the angle between the ground and the ladder. So here's what's happening. Okay, here's a 29-foot ladder, and the angle between the ground and the ladder is 69 degrees. And notice I didn't draw it as 69 degrees, but that doesn't matter. And the question is, how far from the building is the base of the ladder? So I'm looking for this distance x. All right, and so now let's look at what we know and what we're looking for. So this I know is the hypotenuse, and this I know is the adjacent. All right, and so the one that deals with the adjacent and the hypotenuse, if I look up here, I would use CA. And so the cosine of 69 degrees is equal to x over 29. And then multiply both sides by 29. So I get 29 times the cosine of 69 degrees is equal to x. So getting out my calculator, I'll have 29 times cosine of 69 equals, and I know that x is equal to 10.39, and that would be in feet because my hypotenuse was in feet. Now what if they ask instead for the height of the triangle? Well, notice that this is the opposite. Now don't use the x here, so let's scratch this. Now we're going to be looking at the opposite and the hypotenuse. So which trig function deals with the opposite and the hypotenuse? Because the 29 is what they gave us, and the h is what we're looking for. So that would be so. So that would be the sine of 69 degrees is equal to h over 29. And then again, multiply both sides by 29. And so now I'll have 29 times the sine of 69 is equal to 27.07 feet, if I round it off, would be equal to the height. So that shows you how to solve the triangles. Sometimes you have to use the trig functions, and what you look at is you say, what do I know and what am I looking for? So on this one I knew to use the sine, on this one I knew to use the cosine, on this one I knew to use the tangent. And then also you may have to use the Pythagorean theorem in order to get the other side of the triangle. And I'm going to go ahead and stop here, and I'll do number 11 on the next video.